Hey, what's going on, guys? We're back again with another video. I know yesterday was quite disappointing for most of us as Arsenal didn't bring in attacking reinforcements, whether it be a winger or a striker we desperately needed in the January transfer window. Now that the January transfer window is shut completely, and Arsenal don't definitely not bringing anyone in from the Turkish window, that's for sure. Big up everyone tuned in the chat, Flicks, Luca, and Jordan. Big up to each and every one of you. Those of you watching on Twitter as well, big up to you as well. Um, I know that now all the disappointment over the January transfer window has sort of loomed over us. Most of us have accepted it and moved on. We have a big game tomorrow away at St. James Park, the second leg of the EFL Carabao Cup, which Chelsea are not in. Get in the bin, teams and ticks, bin rolls. Ryan, you're probably watching from work, or maybe you're done for the day. But I know you're always working, so thanks for joining, Ryan. Um, Today we're gonna be doing a EFL Cup preview for the second leg at St. James Park, which I guess the title should really say something along the lines of will Arsenal turn this tie around, because we are at a 2-goal deficit going to St. James Park, and the last two appearances we've been to St. James Park, we've not done well. We've actually been defeated there. So we're heading to St. James Park, though, off the back of a thumping 5-1 win over Manchester City, big bad Man City. But it's most importantly to stay humble, as Miles Lewis Skelly and Ethan Waneri slotted goals against oil money Man City. With that being said, we're going to talk about my predicted lineup. We're going to talk about my score predictions. And if I'm confident that Arsenal are going to be able to turn this around going into the second leg of the Carabao Cup. Of course, the other fixture tomorrow will be Tottenham away at Anfield. Liverpool are also at a goal deficit. Um, Liverpool are also in a deficit going into a home game. They do have the second leg at home, which is a lot more advantageous to them. I think Liverpool will go through to the final, but you never know what could happen. My main concern is, will Arsenal be booking their spot at Wembley, or is it too difficult for us to turn around? And will the players be up for it? I think there's the going off the back of a win of 5-1 to Man City to St. James Park. I hope the players are up for it and will show that on the pitch from minute 1 till minute 90. I think this game could well and truly go into extra time, penalty shootout. I think it's 2 goals to take it to penalties, and there's question marks on some Newcastle players' availability alongside the noteworthy players who are still missing for Arsenal, which would be Ben White, Tomiyasu, Bukayo Saka, who's out indefinitely, and Gabriel Jesus, who's out for the rest of the season due to an ACL injury. Thanks, Jose, for joining. Flicks, big up to you. Ryan watching on Twitter, big up to you. And Jordan, big up to you. Rosie, thanks for joining as well. I have Luca here with me. We're going to get straight into the preview, talk about how we're feeling going into this game, and are Arsenal going to be able to overturn a 2-goal deficit going into the second leg of the Carabao Cup. Let me just add Lucas to the panel. Hopefully he's not going to talk about the transfer window, because we spent all day yesterday. Hi Lucas, thanks for joining. I'm all right. Hi Birdie Ryan, thanks for joining. Hopefully I didn't butcher the pronunciation of your name. I hate when people mispronounce my name, so I tried my best. Luca, do you think Arsenal will be able to turn it around tomorrow at St. James Park? We're already 2 goals down, having failed to score any goals in the opening leg, the first leg at the Emirates to Newcastle. And now we're having to go already 2 goals down to St. James Park, a ground in which we don't normally do well in. However, before you answer that, I do want to say Arsenal scored 5 goals past big bad oil money Man City. And do you think that confidence is enough for Arsenal to be able to turn it around moving forward tomorrow night?
I think for me, look, I think the tie's already done. To be honest, I think the first leg was already done. I think.
Hi, Omar.
I think for me, it goes to show. Look, it will be a very, very tough game. Don't get me wrong. We're going to have to be at our best to end up getting 2, 3 goals. We're going to have to be like literally 100% perfect. And the way I look at it, I think the
Big up
ties.
Shay.
I think tomorrow is a bit of a free hit tomorrow. Going to enjoy the game. I'm not confident going into that game,
Thanks,
but
Flips.
I did a little pre-record preview today with 100% Max, and
Yeah.
me and Josh did one today, and I just said, look, I think Arsenal will win the game, but I just don't think it will end up having enough goals to end up getting a 3-0 win. And to be honest, I don't even see us keeping a clean sheet because Newcastle are going to be up for it. Is the 12th men are going to get behind it.
Wow, Jose's
Yes,
confident.
we're
That's
not going to Wembley, bro. But
I think we're gonna do it. I think we're
I don't
gonna
think
turn it
so,
around.
bro. And
And most importantly,
I'm not
if
saying
we wait, Luca, if we turn it around, you best believe we're booking tickets to Wembley because a
you better
night out
invite
in
me.
Wembley.
Mel. You
The
better
last
invite me
time,
next time, Mel.
the
I tell
last
you
time
what.
me and Luca went to Wembley, it was a crazy night. I know it was just the Charity
Well, we know
Shield,
what
but
happened at the end. We know what happened at the end. I end up getting
hi,
on the wrong
PT
train.
Proud Luck. Thanks for joining. It was nice
You know what?
watching your preview earlier
Big
with
up,
Janine.
big up.
Nice to see your preview and also very optimistic going into the game. You do have a 2 goal advantage. First and foremost, enjoy the game tomorrow because you did say you're going. I think it's going to be a cracking atmosphere, and Newcastle definitely really want this. It's a huge opportunity for a
Screaming, yeah,
potential
screaming,
trophy for
bro.
Newcastle, and I wish you all the best for the rest of the season as well.
Big
PD
up to
Proud
you,
Luck.
Peter, man. Long time no see, bro.
Yeah, Peter.
I hope you keep him up. Look, for me, getting back to where I'm saying, look, I think the tie's done. I think it's a bit of a free hit tomorrow, and look, we're going to have to be our perfect best to end up scoring. We're going to have to somehow
Yeah.
score quick goals, like quick. Go and get 2 goals. Go and get a first goal. What we did with Odegaard in the second minute against Man City.
That was
And
crazy, but that
man,
was
that was
also an
an
Akanji
incredible.
mistake.
That was an incredible game. That was
We
that,
took advantage of Man
that
City's
Melina, you
mistakes.
were at the game. You explained.
It was absolutely brilliant.
You got drunk, and I knew that was coming, but that's good that you enjoyed it. And look, that's my favourite game of the season so far.
Yeah,
You know,
hands down.
I've watched that back a couple of times now, and I feel like I want to watch it back again. So, but look, I think for me, this game is just a free hit for me. We can only hope. I do think we will win the game, but I don't think we'll have enough goals to go through to Wembley. If we somehow get to Wembley, mate, I don't know what I'll do. I really.
The last time we went to Wembley, it was a disaster.
Well, the last time
We
when we
got
went,
smashed.
yes, yes, and the last time when I went to Wembley was when I ended up on a train
You got
and
lost. Oh my god.
ending up in bloody Wellingborough.
I
For
think
God's sake,
I think
Northamptonshire. I woke up half
so.
asleep. I was thinking, what? Where the hell am I? The train ended up taking me to Northamptonshire, and I'm
So
like,
I think
what?
what happened was we obviously went to the game together, but we couldn't get seats together. And Wembley's a massive stadium in the
It
first place.
is.
It's very hard to get tickets. So after the game, I texted Luke and I'm like, just meet me here. And I think his phone was dead or something. But we ended up meeting up after the game. And eventually, when I was chatting to some of my friends after the game, of course, you stay back, you meet with your friends. It's just the soaking in the atmosphere. And of course, we won the Charity Shield. Great way to start the season at the time. We beat Man City, and it also was in extra time as well when Trossard scored the equalizer. We went
Yeah,
to penalties. A lot of people left early, but that was my first time at Wembley for Arsenal, and it was quite incredible. But eventually, what happened was I lost Luca, couldn't find him, and he ended up sleeping on the train home, missing his stop, and it was a
yeah,
disaster.
and it fell into a disaster. Then I
That's
had to.
definitely one for the books.
And
Hi,
then
Josh. Thanks
big
for
up Josh,
joining. Really
big up to
appreciate
you,
it.
bro. Yeah.
I know you did a preview earlier today as well, Josh. Um,
Yes,
Hi,
I
Sad.
tell you,
Thanks for
bro.
joining. Um, Respects to you. Hope you're well, Sad. Um, so going into this game, I do want to talk about what Jose said in the chat. And maybe you might agree with this because no one expected us to beat Man City 5 goals to 1, and also for our attack to be that dominant, and our midfield, I'll say. I think that was Partey's best performance in an Arsenal kit, and even Declan Rice. So BX says, I had no faith 2 weeks ago going into the second leg of the Carabao Cup, but after thrashing Man City 5 goals to 1. Newcastle can be beaten. And keep in mind, Newcastle lost to Fulham just this weekend and lost 4-1 to Bournemouth. Do you still think that it's the tie's over after even
I
after us
think to me,
beating
I
Man
think the
City?
tie's done. Like I think the tie's already done. To be honest, I think if it was 1-0 Newcastle, I'd be like, nah, game on. Like, but I really thought the first leg we were so bad, and Martinelli missed so many chances in that
Yeah.
first half.
We're
Um,
not clinical as
if
enough, and I
we
know
were at the
we go
Emirates,
back to the whole striker conversation where we really needed a striker this window, and
well,
we
this
failed to
club's
get
not
one.
ambitious. If this club's not ambitious, yesterday everyone did all transfer deadline days.
Yeah,
Yesterday, of course, 4.5 hours I went live yesterday, moaning and
only for
waffling about
Arsenal
the
not to
football
sign
club.
anyone.
And to be honest, look, I knew nothing wasn't going to happen. You know what I mean? I knew no one wasn't coming and all that stuff. And I know what you were going to say. You were going to say, Luca, you said Tell was going to come. You said Tell was going to come, Luca. Don't lie, Luca. Don't lie.
Nah, it's
Don't.
all right. I mean, the window's over, and I think I'm
Well,
pretty much.
that's what I thought Tell was going to come,
Yeah,
right?
but did you see the deal that Tottenham agreed with him? And I know this is a Newcastle preview, so we'll just touch upon this quickly. But the deal that Newcastle agreed with him is an option to buy, and they're paying his wages 12 million over 5 or 6 months left. It's like a 5 6 month loan just for the end of the season,
This is
until the end of the
crazy.
season.
It's crazy.
I think Bayern daylight robbed them, and it's good
Why
that
me?
Arsenal walked
Why
off.
me? Not complaining? But
No,
the
they're
thing
they're getting good
is,
money off of Tottenham
obviously, I don't
for
want
a
to be
tell.
like, obviously, like talking about the transfers, getting obviously transfer daily's over now and for another 6 months. But the trouble is,
Yeah.
I just feel like Mel that we failed in this transfer window, and the Cronkies are not ambitious. Okay, and Mikel Arteta. Right, I just listened to his press conference. Right, I've got AFTV James in the background with a mute button. Right,
That's what
and the
I
trouble
have
is,
open as well. Arteta's presser.
yes. But the trouble is, Arteta says he's very disappointed. How can he be very disappointed where he was crying out and moaning about the Cronkies?
And we didn't get even Watkins,
And we didn't
which
even
I
get
thought we
what?
would get this window. But
Why did we not go and get someone like
okay,
Victor
for the
Osimhen?
Watkins thing, they wanted 60 million. Villa wouldn't budge at our 40 million offer. We bid 40 million, and that was it. Arsenal didn't even tempt Villa with the second bid, and in fact, I think the reason that's the case is because Villa said they're not selling John Duran and Watkins in the same window because they wouldn't have a striker.
Yeah,
Um,
this is the thing. Yeah, but this is the thing, right? Like, why did we offer 45 million for Ollie Watkins, where
yeah, it was 40.
Villa wanted 80 million pounds for the geezer,
No,
right?
they said they would accept. So David Ornstein yesterday on the Athletic said that Villa explicitly said they would take 60 million for Watkins, a 28-year-old. He's
But
Premiership
why did we not
proven.
bid for 60 million then? Why did we not
Yeah,
bid
we
for
didn't
60
want to
million?
pay it.
Well, we
We didn't
didn't.
want to pay it.
Like, I thought personally it was 60, and I'd have been like, what? I did a stream the other day or before
Villa
yesterday,
wanted 60, but we only bid 40,
and there
and
was a
we
rumor
stopped
going.
at
But
40.
there was a rumor going around. I thought it was 60, but no, it was 45 million we bid.
I
I'm
think it was
like, we're
40,
in
like
this
exactly
situation.
40.
Like, think about the Suarez, 40 million in the pound.
Oh
Think about
my god.
Higuain, 23 million. Like they wanted
Yeah.
more money. Like literally, it's been over this over the years, even Wenger and that. And I'm like thinking, what? Like Liverpool wanted 55 bloody million for Luis Suarez. And like, why can't we not top up an extra 10, 15 million?
For Watkins, so their justification is they didn't want to spend 60 million on a striker that in the summer. Watkins is already old, 28 years old.
Are
To
you
be
going to
honest,
get a
me, I
striker?
still think he's got it in him. I still think he's a bagsman, and he could have still offered us something.
Yeah.
Now we're at the point. I said it yesterday in my review stream of the transfer window. I said Kai Havertz has to play every single game in the Champions League until we're eliminated because we don't have alternatives. Are
Yeah,
you
but
gonna tell me
Havertz,
Butler Oyedeji is gonna come on in the elimination knockouts of the Champions League? No way.
just bring back Floyd Bannigan, so, and we're all good, isn't it? So,
And Balogun's not doing well at Monaco either. He's been injured most of his spell at Monaco, but I don't think that's really one that's worked out for us
but
either.
this is
Reese
but
Nelson
this is
on
the thing.
loan. People said half fit Reese Nelson's better than what Sterling's offered us. Since we have Sterling on loan, he's not offered really much for this team.
But this is the thing, like they're on about saying bring Fabio Vieira back, and I'm like, why would you want to bring T Break back, Fabio Vieira, right?
I
Back.
wouldn't want to disrupt his loan spell either, Fabio Vieira, and I don't think he's good enough for Arsenal. I think in the summer he's going to be sold. You know, the thing with Fabio Vieira is whenever he got game time, he got injured, and then we can't play him, so he's never really got a consistent run of minutes or form. I would say.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Um,
That's why Vieira's not good enough. Like he
so
doesn't.
I'm gonna touch upon Arteta's press conference. I think you listened to it. You talked about it briefly in your stream.
Yeah.
Um, Arteta's presser, Arteta talks about injury updates, and it is just the injuries. Thankfully, there's no new injuries. It's the injuries we're already aware about. First of all, he talks about Ben White, that Ben White's still out injured. After this game against Newcastle away at St. James Park, Arsenal will be traveling to Dubai for warm weather training, as it's the FA Cup fourth round, which Arsenal have been eliminated from, and they'll be in Dubai. Hopefully, when we come back from Dubai, Luca, this team will be back firing again, like last season when we went to Dubai during the break that we had. Arteta did also mention about Bukayo Saka. If there's a possibility he could be available in March, he did say that he's not sure. And he did say that the final in Wembley is a big deal. He knows you can feel the pressure on this team and the massive confidence boost we have from beating Man City 5 goals to 1. It's only going to work to our advantage, and I hope that the team will be up for it tomorrow night. We'll have to see what happens tomorrow, of course. He did talk about how we fans call Newcastle our bogey team, just like Southampton is, to be fair, and Villa. We beat them at home last year, but away at St. James Park, it's a different kind of task for us. So hopefully tomorrow we can turn it around, and Arsenal can book their trip to Wembley. Arsenal have not won the League Cup since 1993, before me and you were born, a year before you were born, in fact. And it would be nice for us to win a League Cup. It would be shameful and awful for this Arsenal team to end the season with no trophies. I know it's just a League Cup, but it's better than nothing. I would definitely take a League Cup if the alternative was no trophy at all. Um, Arteta also talks about Miles Lewis Skelly's performances and boosting confidence as a player. He talks about how he feels stronger in this team together as a whole in this team collectively. And he talks about the development of the players like Miles Lewis Skelly and Ethan Waneri. Not even 18 years old, and Ethan Waneri is showing a lot of determination in this team, physicality wise, development wise, and a lot of responsibility for the two of those youngsters performing for the men's team, stepping up when it matters. Um, Going into this game, I think there's also injury concerns for Newcastle. I think Joe Linton. So from my understanding, that Joe Linton is unavailable or late fitness assessment potentially for Newcastle. In my opinion, I don't think he's going to be playing. Um, Bruno Camarish and Fabian Schär were suspended for the first leg at Emirates Stadium, but will be available tomorrow. I do think the players to look out for from Newcastle would be Alexander Isak, Bruno Gamarish, um, Anthony Gordon, really great player, prolific. And I think those are the three that I would say to be careful of. Um, I'm not sure if they're going to play Botman tomorrow. Some of the Newcastle fans want Botman to play. But I do think they're not going to park the bus if this trophy means just as much to them. And it means more to them as it does to us because Newcastle haven't won a trophy in really long time. And I'm sure this is a huge chance for them to possibly win a trophy. I think we're going to go through tomorrow night. Me too. I'm quite confident. I do think we're going to turn it around, and a lot of people don't expect us to turn it around. They're already written it off, like how Lucas said. The tie's already done. Hawkwind, thanks for joining, mate. Just about to join shortly at the dance channel on the Gooner channel. He's going live Tuesday tonight, 10:30 UK time. Gonna be talking all things Arsenal going ahead into the Newcastle Carabao Cup second leg tomorrow. Luca, going into this game, Newcastle away from home, what
Yeah.
would your lineup be? We talked about this earlier before we went live when I rang you up. I said, you think our Arsenal is not going to be able to go through, but would you rest players? Would you play your strongest 11? What are your thoughts?
You
And I'll
have to
give
go
you
all
guys my
strong.
lineup.
You have to go all strong against
Hi, Chris.
Newcastle. Big up to you, mate. You have to go all strong against Newcastle because we don't play the weekends. You might as well put the same team that beat Man City. It's no point going putting all weak players and then right,
Yeah.
okay, we're going to rest players because we don't have many players because we didn't strengthen in this January transfer
No,
window.
we have so many left backs. It's crazy. We can fill a bench of left backs.
Well, yeah, of course. And the only closest player coming back is Ben White.
Yeah.
That's
Hi, Agar.
that's the only player who could potentially be back for Leicester after the break, after the Dubai break, is Ben White. Tommy Yasu's not coming back this
No,
season.
not yet. I think
Mikel
after the
Arteta,
international break.
Mikel
Arteta said
Arteta,
that he'll probably be available after the international break.
Mikel Arteta says we don't know about Bukayo Saka. Saka's done for the season. We know that,
I
right?
don't think they'll rush him back. Is my point. I don't think they'll rush Saka back to
He
the
won't.
pitch.
He won't. He won't be in the international break for England in
No,
March.
in
Right,
March,
next
no,
month.
he won't go with Tuchel. Hey,
And
speaking of international break, in March, Miles Lewis Skelly is going to be included in Thomas Tuchel's squad, which is
he
great
is.
news.
What does he get ahead
Um,
of any of England's left backs?
he might get an England call up, so that's great news. Um, it's not him.
Ethan,
It's not him.
Ethan,
Okay, big
Ethan,
up.
Ethan Nwaneri might get into the under 17s or under 19, under
Yeah,
21s,
under 21s possibly, or
which
um,
will
uh,
do very well. Which is very good very good because Arsenal had. I remember over the years,
yeah, Saka's
Arsenal.
not on crutches. Saka's been off crutches for a couple of game weeks now, though.
But the trouble is, but the trouble is, Arsenal used to always struggle with not having many English players. Now we have loads of English players. Ben White
Yeah.
is going to get into Tuchel's squad for England, but of course, obviously, he's not going to be a
Yeah,
first.
thank God he's no longer excluded from
Ben White will be
England
coming
squad.
back. Will be coming back. Will be the only closest player, which that means Timber would have to go left back. It means maybe no. Ben White would have to be a bench player because Timber would have to play at right back.
What, you think Ben White's gonna be on the bench? Ben White's quality.
Ben White's not getting back into the Arsenal side. Not the way Timber's been playing at the moment.
Rodri is goaded. Big up to you.
Rodri,
Rodri's obviously out
can
for
we
the
tell?
season.
Rodri, can we tell? Rodri. Rodri's back next season.
Yeah, out for the season.
My lineup for tomorrow, I go with the same team that played against
Me too.
Manchester City.
Same. Raya in goal, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel,
All we have.
Lewis Skelly, Partey, Rice, Odegaard, the strongest midfield possible. Partey, Rice, Odegaard, Martinelli, Trossard, and then Kai Havertz up front. Do we really have alternatives up front? Are you telling me we're gonna play Butler or Deji up front? Because I'm telling you, if we're trying to take this Carabao Cup seriously and book a trip to Wembley, we need to play our strongest possible 11. And for me, this is our strongest possible 11. Some people would say, why isn't Ethan Waneri starting? Which I understand, but I think it's good to have firepower off the bench. So that means I would have Calafiori on the bench, Tierney, Jorginho, Marino, Sterling, and Ethan Waneri. Hi, Dan. Thanks for joining, Dan. I'm just about to end the stream soon because I know you're going live. So I'll wrap up quickly. But I wanted to do a brief preview going into this game. Ian's changing the lineup, so he's saying exactly what I just mentioned. Is some people would say to start Waneri that he's undroppable and he's in really good form. Me personally, I would rather have some firepower on the bench. Um, in terms of having bench coverage, Arsenal don't really have much of a bench. As you guys saw against Aston Villa, we had 2 goalkeepers and 5 left backs. Even against Dinamo Zagreb, our bench hasn't been the greatest. And Newcastle will have options on the bench. Maybe not as great, but as great as some of their first team players, but they do have a better bench than we will. And of course, Raya in goal, no doubt about it. Neto, I don't think he'll ever play another minute of football for Arsenal. And hopefully, Raya doesn't get injured. God forbid. So Ian's saying the only change in the lineup would be Ethan Waneri starting. And who would you bench instead? He said I'm sticking with Sunday's team. Yeah, I'm also sticking with Sunday's team. I think it's too good of a team to drop, and more importantly, I don't want to see Thomas Partey at right back. We need to abolish this idea of Thomas Partey at right back. It's not worked out for us, and I don't think it's going to work out for us in the future. Um, Partey, Rice, Odegaard is the strongest midfield we have possible, and I think we should just stick to our strongest lineup going into this game away from home, especially for the fact that we're 2 goals down already, having failed to score at the Emirates when we played them in the home fixture. Um, PD Proudluck says, I hope Botman starts for us. If Fabian Schär starts, Hughes will target him. He's well off form for us right now. I know he was unavailable for the reverse fixture when we played you guys at the Emirates, and Bruno Guimaraes was suspended due to 5 yellows. Um, I mentioned earlier that some Newcastle fans want Botman to start because he's in more form than Fabian Schär. I'm also worried about Bruno Guimaraes. I know his shithousery and what he can do against Arsenal. He's a bastard type of player. I always say I want that type of player on my team, but I don't want them against us. And of course, Alexander Isak. What more can you say of him? He's a proper gunman, a proper bagsman, and if Newcastle failed to get top four, there might be question marks around whether he'll look to move away from Newcastle. Um, but I guess first of all, there's still a lot of games to be played for the rest of the season, and time will tell what happens with Alexander Isak. Also, Anthony Gordon, very, very underrated player. I quite like him. He's an explosive type of player, and he was really good in the home fixture against us as well. Him and Isaac, just both of them were quality in the home fixture, and you deserve to be 2 goals up against us because Arsenal couldn't finish their dinner. And Luca always talks about us lacking in attack, not taking our chances, and that's exactly what happened in the home fixture, Luca. We
Yeah,
had so many opportunities. Martinelli, um, many chances for Martinelli through on goal, and we just couldn't finish them.
yeah, but this is the thing, right? Like people say, look, the first leg against Newcastle, we were pretty much dominating. I wouldn't say completely dominating, but of course we had chances to obviously like take the lead in the first
Thanks,
half. We
Kane.
could have changed the game, but
Thanks,
unfortunately,
Kane.
it just goes to show that we weren't clinical enough, and that's why we needed a striker in the January transfer window to give us any hope of trying to win the league this season. Like, like I personally don't think we're not going to win anything this season, but because we have to pray that we don't get any more injuries because
Yeah,
we ain't getting Jesus back this season. I
no,
personally don't think Saka's not going to come back, right? We have to
I
go
think
with
Saka would do light pitch training in like April, but then that's it. I don't think they'll play
that's
him.
about it. That's about it. But Mel's gone.
Sorry, my connection's moving
Oh,
dodgy.
that's okay. But defenders wise, we've got a lot of defenders out. Tomiyasu, of course, is pretty
Is it
much
my stream or is it your
no,
Wi-Fi? It keeps
no.
going black screen for me. I'm not sure if it's the same for the viewers.
Wow. The
Dodgy
fans need to
Wi-Fi.
protest and get those clowns. Yeah, but the fans won't protest, my friend. Right? They're not going to
Get
protest
the
because
first goal and
it's
anything can happen
the leaders of
100%. That's exactly what I told Luca. I said if Arsenal were to score first, get a goal early on, like we did in a minute and 40 seconds with Odegaard scoring at home due to an Akanji mistake, Arsenal can take advantage. And I think Newcastle are there for the taking. Against Bournemouth, they lost 4 goals to 1. They also lost to Fulham and they were at home. Jose says Saka should be back for the Champions League semifinals. I love your confidence, Jose. I think the Champions League definitely depends on the most of it on the luck of the draw. And as we know, Arsenal could get Juventus, Feyenoord, PSV, or AC Milan. I'm telling you guys right now, there's nothing like a Champions League European away trip. Luca, I know you've been to the Allianz Arena before. Incredible stadium to go to. I
Yeah.
didn't see Arsenal win there, but it was really good to experience the atmosphere with other away fans on the road in Munich. Really good night out.
I don't think we'll get to the semi-finals of the Champions League. I think we'll get to the quarterfinals because the last 16 we could face either Juve
Real Madrid.
or Porto. not
No,
fourth leg,
sorry,
PSC.
not the last 16, but if we get through the quarterfinals, sorry, if we get through the round of 16 in the quarterfinals, we could get Real Madrid or Man City, which I'm quite worried about.
Man City, I'm not worried. I think we'll beat
I'm
them.
worried about Real Madrid.
Real Madrid, definitely,
Yeah, Real
definitely,
Madrid are
definitely, definitely Real Madrid because
they
Real
have the
Madrid
Champions League pedigree, they have the European
and
heritage,
Mbappe's never
they
played
have the
against Arsenal.
experience in the Champions League, and of course Mbappe, Vinicius Jr. I think that's the only team that scares me in the Champions League is Real Madrid.
I think the only
And
thing
Inter Milan, I would say to some extent, because Inter Milan away, we just drew to them, right?
Bayern Munich.
Bayern Munich are quite good too, yeah. I think Bayern Munich can be beat though.
Well, of course they can. We should have beaten them. We should have beaten them. The trouble
At
is,
home, we didn't get that penalty call at home.
yeah,
Real Madrid's defense is shaky. Yeah, that's happened a lot for them this season in La Liga. They've been quite inconsistent in games this season under Ancelotti. Geeks of Muckleby's going 4-1 Arsenal or 4-2. Um, so on aggregate, to be the best, you have to beat the best. Bring them all on 100%. Fear no one. We're a different animal in the Champions League 100%. At home, we have an unbeaten record in the Champions League. Clean sheets at home in home fixtures in the group stages so far. The round of 16, of course, we're still waiting depending on the playoff results, but it will be interesting to see who Arsenal get and how we'll do fare on moving forward. I do think Arsenal will also make it past the Champions League quarterfinals. I think we'll make it to the semis, but I don't think we'll. I don't know. It's hard to say whether we'll win it or not, but I do think we'll make it past the quarters and definitely pass the round of 16.
I think we'll get to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. I think we'll be because our last 16 opponents are going to be Juventus or PSG. It'll be one of them, and anyone else we cannot get. So and then quarterfinals, like you said, will be Real Madrid or Man City. I think that will be the test where this is why I just felt like it's been so deflated as an Arsenal fan, not bringing an attacker in. Why did we not? Like there was a rumor 2 days ago before deadline day.
Nico
Nico
Williams is
Williams.
released us.
But
Yeah,
that rumor was fake, right?
yeah.
Nico Williams was never going to come in this January
No,
transfer.
he wants to go to Barcelona.
Yeah,
Just getting through some comments here. Ian says, "Fear no one. We're a different animal in the Champions League, 100%." And Arsenal have shown that this season so far. Can they show that
yeah.
moving forward? Is the question, and I do think they can. We've only conceded 3 goals in the entire group stages so far, 100%, and that's been away on the road. Geeks of Muckleby says our only loss was to a dodgy penalty. We are ready. I like that confidence. Mr. Zhao says, I think it's over, to be honest. They'll make it a nasty affair, and I hope Ethan Waneri is okay. I'm a bit worried in terms of I really hope no one gets injured in this game, especially Ethan Waneri or Louis Skelly. I do think they're going to target them because they're younger players. And I don't think Newcastle are the type of team to park the bus against us or to play too defensively. Do you think they'll try to get us on the counterattack? And how do you think Newcastle will set up against us, Luca?
I think for me, look, Newcastle are going to be up for this game. They're going to set out very, very like they did in the first leg. They're going to give us. I really hope we don't play like we did when we got beaten in the league 1-0. I really hope that nothing like that doesn't happen.
Oh, that was poor. Yeah.
That was very poor. We need to like really be like very creative because we haven't beaten Newcastle since 2022-2023 season.
Yeah.
I think
we have to be able to take our chances, and
they could
I really think we should be able to go at them.
Like we need to go for it. We've got to stop Isak. We've got to stop Kamara. Tonali is a doubt for this game.
I did hear that. Yeah, Tonali and Joe Linton are question marks.
As well, two massive players, but they still got quality. They've still got Kamara's. They've still got Botman. They've still got Isak, Murphy, all these sort of players. Anthony Gordon. So that's why I'm not confident going into this game. I don't want to try and be negative or pessimistic or dig into the club, but I do think we will win the game. But I don't think we will not have enough to obviously, because I'd be very surprised if we somehow, because 3-1 takes it to extra time, right? And then we play for penalties, but I'm going to go for a 2-1 Arsenal, and I think Newcastle will just edge it 3-2 on aggregate.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry,
Wait, you don't even think it goes to penalties at all?
No. I don't see us getting more than 2 goals. I can see us scoring first, but apart from that, I just can't see us qualifying
Can I
because
just say what I'm worried about? I am worried about. First of all, I'm worried about whether we're gonna score first early on in the game and do what Arsenal typically do. Bar the Man City game, what we typically do is we sit back and we invite pressure on us. We allow the opposition team to up a gear and to get into first gear or second gear if they're not already there. And that's where our that's our Achilles heel, for the most part. And the other thing is, I hope we don't get beat on crosses near the post. That happened against Villa, that happened against Newcastle, and that happened against Man City. So that's one thing we need to be careful of and be wary of. Going into this game, it's all about taking our chances and taking our opportunities first and foremost. And players like Martinelli, players like Havertz, making it difficult, not taking our chances. I really hope that doesn't come to bite us in this game going ahead tomorrow. A lot of people are quite confident in this chat. Um, I think I only saw one comment other than you where somebody said that it's looking like it's over for us, and we're not booking a trip to Wembley. But can I just say, if Arsenal make it to the final, Luca, you know well Arsenal have a good record at Wembley, so
I think yeah,
um,
I think if the miracle happens tomorrow, I think we win it.
yeah,
Honestly. Like I couldn't care less what Liverpool fans say, right? I think we beat them in the final because they're going to be going for a league title and they've won the Carabao Cup. Look, of course, trophies obviously matters, and then they probably want to try and retain it. But I think
100%.
it would be Arsenal's because when the draw got made before we lost the first leg, I fancied Arsenal to get to Wembley. I already had Arsenal, Tottenham, or Arsenal, Liverpool in the final. But I think right now at this moment of time, I can just see it being Newcastle v Liverpool in the final. I do. I think it's going to be Newcastle, Liverpool in the final. Like I don't know why people get so confident after winning one game that we battered Man City 5-1. Newcastle away is a tough place to go to. Yes, they lost to Bournemouth. Yes, they lost to Fulham.
Yeah, 4-1 to Bournemouth and Fulham just recently.
But it doesn't happen many often. And look, I understand where people are coming from.
Arsenal have had a good record at home though, but I know this is different because we're away to St
We
James
haven't
Park.
lost in all competition. I think we've only lost. Well, we've lost one home game in all competition. Well, Man United in a 90-minute, if you want to count that as a loss on penalties, fair enough. But in the 90-minute game, we only lost once in all competition, which was the League Cup against Newcastle. But apart from that, in the league, we've not lost a home game this season. And let's just hope that continues.
I agree with Jose. North London derby, but make it EFL Cup style. Arsenal Tottenham in the final would be great, and I would love to see the tears on Ange Postecoglou's face if we make it to the final and if we beat Tottenham, which I'm quite confident Arsenal can do. That would be great, and I think the atmosphere for that would be incredible as well. Um, Ian says, I think it goes to extra time, but we go through. Me too. I also think this game's going to go to extra time tomorrow.
You really believe this is going to go to extra time? I think the time's
Yes.
done.
No,
I
I think
honestly
it's going to
think
go
the
to
time.
extra time.
There's no way Arsenal getting 3 against Newcastle. This isn't the shitty Newcastle.
Okay, but nobody said we're going to put 5 past Man City. Come on, Luca.
No, but that's a one-off game. That's
Newcastle aren't in form as well.
This is at St James's Park. If it was at the Emirates, I'd be like, yeah, I'm confident. Arsenal.
Oh, we couldn't even kick a barn door down at the Emirates.
No, we couldn't.
I just want to say though, Newcastle are not necessarily in the greatest of form right now, and this might be a good opportunity to play them. A good
But
chance
Arsenal
to
be up for it though. That's my worry. Will we actually be up for it? Will we have the Premier League eyes on?
Yeah, we only need 2 goals to take it to penalties.
Mikel Arteta, right? Would he actually be interested? Because this is what Arteta does. He dumps us out of the cups, and then he ends up focusing on the Premier League, trying to go on and win the league. That's my only negative I have about this manager. Because look, I don't want to make sure this whole stream is a negative coming from my words or what I do on my channel. But I just feel like I just hope Arteta takes it very seriously, Molina, tomorrow. I really
Yeah,
hope he does. We need to go all gun blazing. We need to really proper attack them. We
I
own
agree. That's
Newcastle.
exactly what I said. We need to
Newcastle
be
beat us
opening with
last
a
season
sharp and strong
at St
attack.
James's Park, which a goal should have never stood, right?
Yeah,
Beat us this season, and they beat us pretty much the third time. So
I
technically,
also agree with this.
we
Yeah.
can't allow Newcastle to win 4 times against us.
Don't
Like,
forget, Newcastle can still choke one goal, and the atmosphere changes. 100% geeks of Muggleby, and that's exactly what I'm thinking. I think Newcastle can
but when you
capitulate
say that,
if
when you have
Arsenal take
hostile
advantage of their
stadiums,
chances.
when you have hostile stadiums, right? Sorry to interrupt, but Anfield, Granit Xhaka, resistance, right? I know you
Yeah,
love
a few
Granit Xhaka,
years ago.
but Arsenal at Anfield, who dominated the game for 40 minutes, right?
Shaka riled up
And
Trent.
then Xhaka couldn't silence the Anfield crowd. We have a history of not silencing people's crowds with a hostile stadium, and that's what we got to do tomorrow. We've got to score in the first few minutes. That's what we've got
Yeah.
to do. Like
Um,
Arsenal got to do that. Even Mr. Jo says in the
Mr.
chat,
Jo says, "Does everyone really trust Kai Havertz not to squander chances?" Well, to be fair, even Raheem Sterling, even who else? Martinelli's missed chances. Trossard has missed chances before. But I know it's Havertz misses the easy ones, and it's like, how are you missing from there? It's quite frustrating. I do agree with Ian that we're more mature and we're more calm. When we went 1-1 to Man City, I thought, oh no, Arsenal are going to sit back and invite pressure on us, but we stayed calm and we stayed humble. We we took advantage of their flaws and we made sure we took our chances, and I think that's the most important takeaway going into this game tomorrow.
yeah, fact.
Um, go ahead, Luke.
Look, I think for me, look, even this person says in the chat, Jeeks Muckleby says, what a pressure position have to be in. I respect Newcastle as a club. But look, I understand, right, Jeeks and Muckleby, right? Football is a funny game, but we need to pressurize on them. We need to go all guns blazing. We need to attack because we don't want to go 1-0 down. Then we have to get three to get our extra
Yeah,
time. We
I
have
agree.
to score. I think for me, if they score first, game's done. I honestly, I think the game's done. If we score first in the first few minutes, it
We
makes it
need to
interesting.
maintain our lead and score more
We have
further.
to maintain our lead. We need to have a game where, in football reality, you need to score 2 early goals. That's what you have to do. Arsenal,
Yeah.
for me, go out there and prove yourself to the fans that you can go out there and win a convincing performance like you did against City again, right? Because you ain't going to get this too often, right? But go and do it again and prove to the fans that you think that we do not need a striker. So do it.
I
Do
think
it.
we can do it. I think if we score early, Arsenal will definitely be up for it
I
and
love
maintain
your
the lead.
positivity, Mel. I love your
Um,
positivity.
Jose is saying Newcastle will try to make it an ugly affair and as physical
Yes,
as
you see him,
possible.
Ross.
We need to start fast and early. Geeks of Muckleby says we need to create doubt early. I agree. The first goal is key, 100%, and I think that's what builds the momentum away at an intimidating stadium to some extent, like Newcastle away at St James Park. Luca, I believe you've been there before when the Saudi owners took over. You went to do a stadium tour just outside the ground when Newcastle got the Saudi or is it Saudi money they got? Yeah. You went with Paul and you went there to see the stadium. I've never been to St. James Park. Definitely a ground I want to go to.
Really, do you have plans to go to tomorrow's game?
Tomorrow? No way, Luca. I'm exhausted. Like I look sleepless, look so tired and so out of it. Traveling back and forth, it's fun, it's entertaining, but when it's time to go back to work and had 40 plus matters today at work, it's definitely tiring. I even
Really?
fell asleep on the train home today and almost missed my stop. But that's a topic for another day, I guess. I'm definitely tired, and we're gonna go on the Gooner channel shortly. Thanks, Moss, for joining. Anfield May 10th would be really incredible to go to Anfield. I've never been there. Donna, do you wanna? Hi, Donna. I unblocked your other account, Donna, yesterday when you asked me about it. Hi, Rich. I did
But
see your stream earlier, Rich. You were talking about Ruben Amorim and the transfers. I know people were saying to play the Arsenal player you signed previously from us.
Donna, are you a real account?
You signed Aiden Heaven and Cheeto Obi Martin. Someone on your panel said that they would play Cheeto Obi Martin because he can't do worse than what you already have, and that made me laugh. Rodri says we are the best club in the world and all of the world. No, you're not. We beat you 5-1. Stay humble, Rodri. Hi Donna, thanks for joining, guys. I'm gonna wrap up the stream now, but I'll be live now on the Gooner channel. We'll be live there to talk about all things Arsenal and briefly touch upon the Arsenal Cup game tomorrow. Before I wrap up the stream, I do want to say Luca's birthday is coming up March. We'll be partying in somewhere in hopefully a night out in London or Manny. Maybe we'll plan something. Will be cool. But Luca, you did do a stream earlier today for the Newcastle preview. If you want
Yeah.
to tell everyone where they can check out your channel.
Yeah, subscribe to my channel. Of course, I did a pre-record video today. Of course, Newcastle versus Arsenal.
Sorry.
That's okay. Newcastle versus Arsenal. Feel free to go and check it out. Content-wise, coming up tomorrow, there'll be a match reaction straight after the game. Make sure people do come into the chat and say hello. And then, of course, the weekend, Arsenal ain't playing. So what am I going to do?
Yeah, we're off.
My other team will play.
The players are off to warm weather
Another
training in Dubai.
Another match day experience as MK Dons are home to Bromley. And Moss, you're Canadian keeper, man. You're Canada keeper, man. Tom McGill has left MK Dons, man. Yeah, he's left, by the way. He's left. So he's left the football club.
I hope Arsenal make it to Wembley tomorrow. It'll be exciting to see.
It'll be great if it happens.
Check out Luca Talks Ball's channel. Luca Talks Ball. Check out his channel. He did a transfer show yesterday, which was really cool. Guys, we'll be live now on the Gooner channel. Thanks everyone who joined also today in the live chat on YouTube. Shout out to all the regulars and all the new viewers. Thanks to Rosie, great moderating as usual. And hope you have a good holiday, Chris, in Bulgaria. Enjoy your holiday. Thanks, Luca, for joining me today for a quick preview for the Newcastle game. Come on, you Gunners, and I do believe Arsenal will book their trip to Wembley tomorrow night. I'm confident. We can do it. Okay. We can't do it. I don't think we'll do it in regular time. We'll do it in extra time. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Thanks everyone who's tuned in on Twitter. 369 people watching on all platforms. Shout out to each and every one of you. We are on the road to 10K subs, which is crazy. So hopefully we achieve that by the end of the year. Big up everybody. Take care, and we'll see you all on the Gooner channel. Feel free to join on there as long as you're respectful. It is an open panel show for Arsenal fans. If you do want to check it out, it's called The Gooner. Like and subscribe. Thanks, Ian, as well. And we're out of here. Let me just cue the outro. We'll see you all for a review tomorrow after the Carabao Cup second leg tomorrow. Come on, you Gunners, and let's get this win. Turn it around tomorrow at St. James Park.